Hi, if you're a Libra, born September 23rd to October 22nd, what can you expect for the month of June 2014? Let's tune in and find out. Libra, really interesting. I see you kind of on your path and you're looking over here waiting for something else to happen when something right in front of you is blossoming. So wherever your attention is, this feels work related. So if your attention is on something else, wanting to have something else happen, and you're ignoring what's right in front of you that's really blossoming, that's really great. So you really want to pay attention to what's in front of you and just know that whatever you're kind of longing for off in the distance, if you're meant to have it, it will kind of swing around and get in line, right? So it's always good to have hopes and dreams and aspirations. But at the same time, we always want to acknowledge what's right in front of us and do what's in front of us. When we do what's in front of us and we have those hopes and dreams and aspirations, we can then get there. So, Libra, this month for you is, wow, I feel like, finally, like I just feel this relief, like this stuff off my shoulders. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be busy. I still feel like it's busy, but it's a much lighter month for you, Libra. I feel like more joy. I feel more happiness. There is, I still feel like a little tension around the eyebrows and around the head, and that's more with details, more with dealing with the details. And of course, here's the challenge, right? Because Mercury is going retrograde June 7th to July 1st when it goes direct. And what that means for us is it's sort of command central for our communication, which involves our computers, our technology, which means a lot of the components in our car, our refrigerators, or our TVs, or all of the electronics in our life, in addition to the communication that we have with one another. So a lot of things can go haywire during that time. So if you're doing anything like moving, like I am, or traveling, you want to make sure that you are double checking and triple checking with everybody, with your dates, with your times. Just wanted to make sure this is what time I have you down for, with your appointments, with all these things things can go smoothly for you. If you do that, there's going to be less frustration. There's going to be less mishaps. And so this is during that 3 week period, you kind of want to be on the offense. You want to be looking ahead and seeing, oh, did you double check that? Did you make sure this? To yourself or to, if you have assistants, fortunately, to ask them to do it. You want to make sure that those things are happening, and then that way the month will be a little smoother for you. As far as money goes for you, Libra, here's the thing. I feel like you have a lot of money, but I'm feeling like you can't access it. Like I'm feeling like there's a hard time accessing it this month. So what that means to me is it could be a couple things. It could be that it's in one account and it takes a while, maybe because of the chaos, to move it to another account. It could be that it's on money that's owed to you and hasn't come in yet. It could be that just that maybe you're in a situation like I am, where your website is not done yet, and that affects your money or your income. So you're being affected by circumstances. So there's circumstances that are creating a problem for you to be able to receive money. The good news is cleared up in July, like that, cleared up in July. So the next 3 weeks will be a little tedious for you in trying to get at your money and trying to get that money to come in. Don't stress about it. If you have to borrow from Peter to pay Paul, and in July it all wakens, all kind of, feels like comes together. Do that. You have resources, so I do feel like there's an opportunity then to bring that in, and your money is really going to start to flow quite well at the end of July. So, but right now it is a little, I'm feeling a little dry, like my mouth is dry. So it feels a little dry. It is temporary. There's some things that you can do. Some of you may be able to they're showing me like a car payment where you can call the company and say, hey, will you add that, will you take a month or two and add it to the end of the loan so I can have a month or two breathing room and not have to pay that for these 2 months because I have to go to my sister's wedding over here and I need the money to go there, right? So there's a way to jiggle, to juggle your money is what I'm seeing. Juggling money, juggling funds. You'll have enough, but you got to get a little creative in juggling things. And I think that's perfectly fine. And to do that, it feels really good. They're showing me that time, a lot of you don't consider your time as money. And so you want to be careful with how much time you spend doing frivolous things. And we all need to do frivolous things, right? I mean, hey, we're Libra, right? So we have that beauty and we have that balance. But at the same time, you want to be aware of time is money. And so just adjust accordingly. This is a great month for you to relax a little bit, to chill out a little bit, to have some fun, and to not have, the big bad wolf on your back so much, because you guys, are your taskmasters and can really push yourself. So you can lighten up a little bit this month, even with the money situation. It feels like lightening up would actually help to increase your income. So if that makes any sense for you Libras. Now, as far as relationships go for you Libra, there's going to be some new relationships that are going to come in the month of June. Some of them you may have been in communication with, but maybe you haven't met them before. So just be aware that if those relationships a lot of times take a little more patience, and because kind of like what you see is not always what you get. So you have to just not buy into it. Just remember that, the whole thing with the retrograde is we don't always see, what's going on. We're not getting the whole picture. And then when it goes forward in July, we'll see the whole picture. We'll see all sides of the person. So if you get into a new relationship with someone, whether it's business or personal, just be aware that you may not see all sides of them until the following month. And then you can make, adjust accordingly. Let's put it that way. For those of you in a committed relationship, feels really nice, like there's a really nice opportunity around the July 20th, 21st, 22nd. In fact, a lot of June, from June 15th on, especially those last 2 months, feels really like really enjoying each other's company, slowing down, enjoying, whether you get in a car and drive a long way or whether you, take a plane. It just feels enjoyable and it feels slow, and I feel no rush or no hurry. And so I just feel like things are in order and they're moving. I feel like July is like spiraling up, like just whoa. Like I feel like all of June is momentum building, spiraling up. So whatever you were maybe anticipating or expecting in June, it may be pushed out a little bit into July and after the 4th, and that feels like that. There's nothing wrong with that. It feels really great. Really feels like divine timing and perfect. So if that's what happens, don't worry about it. Anything else for Libras here that they should know? Yes, the last thing is I would say to have patience. Have patience with the process of all the things, the communication and the details. And remember, the old saying is the devil's in the details, right? So yeah, pay attention to the details. And I think if you have patience with that, you're paying attention to those details, you're really going to have a big success this month, Libra. So have an amazing month, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month.